Call Halal Yahweh Bashem Yahushai Bashem Chakdash. The bonus to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, as well as honor to the men under the elder apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect and those who hope to be of that number. Found this article on Natural News. It's interesting. This is what Natural News says. UK announces that passports will soon include those stamps. By the time 2021 rolls around, Brits who wish to travel by air will have to show that they have been maxed for code. This was the announcement that came from the Department of Transport, a UK agency that has decided to require that travellers show max stamps in their passports before being allowed to travel. So if you want to travel abroad and you're in the UK, you're going to need a max stamp alongside your passport to show you've been vaccinated, else you're not going to be able to travel abroad. Conservative MP James Sunderland, a vehement supporter of mandatory max, told the media that because pets already require a vaccination passport in order to travel between the UK and Europe, that the next step is for humans to have the same. We must do everything possible to boost the economy. The economy is done, mate. By reopening our travel, hospitality, leisure, and business sectors. And how fantastic would it be to have our planes, trains, and boats full again? Sunderland stated. People don't have money like they used to. Added that mandatory means without option, max for the thingy. It's a fantastic way of ensuring freedom of movement for people. You're going to have to put that poison in you. A max stamp is simple, would save all the hassle at either end, and really boost confidence. They're using celebrities. They're shutting down anyone not pushing the narrative. They got the 77th Brigade, an elite army unit, basically warring information warfare. Information warfare is going on. These guys are there thingy. Anti-spies to take on you know who. They call you militants. Britain's Army Information Warfare Unit. These guys were there when it came to Al Qaeda. British Army spies wage information warfare against anti-thingy content online. Labour. Social media firms must face sanction for anti-thingy, so they can one day social media, companies like Facebook, Twitter, even YouTube, if they still have any of this anti-thingy content online on their platforms, they can be sued. They have financial penalties for keeping it on. So to avoid the financial penalties, they're gonna take it off ASAP with the quickness. A max stamp, it's simple, will save all the hassle at either end and really boost confidence. It sounds like this kind of relates to that MaxiN passport, MaxiN certificate, immunity proof. Aviation Minister Robert Coates is likewise said to be upbeat and supportive of the idea, as is Prime Minister Bojo, who stated earlier this month that his Transport Secretary Grant Shapps, is in the process of looking at all such schemes that involve forcing people to get jabs in order to resume travelling post-COVID, after COVID. UK also endorsing freedom passes as condition of ending lockdowns. Some airlines like Qantas, Australia, Korean Air and New Zealand Air have indicated strong support for the plan, as they say their respective governments are already considering making the max mandatory without option for their populations. Ryanair, that's another airline company, however, has said that max stamps will likely not be needed because mandated max stamps in Europe as a condition of travel is unfeasible and probably never be accepted. or supported by Europeans and their respective governments. That's a lie. That's gonna be accepted. It will be made mandatory. You're gonna have the military who's gonna come in like a flood, especially on you Israelites. They're jabbing people's arms. They know people are not gonna want to take it, and since they already make it look like the only way they're gonna go back to so-called normal, which this is the new normal by the way, is if you take the max, and then after the max is gonna be the microchip, the RFID chip, the Mark the Beast, which is gonna be made mandatory after that. After the max is made mandatory. Sorry if I keep using these code names because I'm gonna get shut up for medical misinformation. My main channel got a strike for a week. That's why I'm using these code names. In Paris, if you were to choose no max, you'd just get a train instead, he added. Back in the UK, the max stamp idea is apparently not draconian enough, as the country is also considering the implementation of so-called freedom passes, which are dangled like carrots in front of Brits who are anxious, worried to escape lockdown imprisonment. And you can always check this out. I'm not sure if I did a video on this. There it is, freedom passes and compulsory max. These are travel restrictions. I'll get the scripture now. Oh, sorry, not second. I mean, second address 1517. Yeah, they're coming down. They're tempting you. Are you gonna take the max so that you can go back to normalcy, or what you think is normalcy? Second address 1517. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able to. This could even be a city in another country. Say you're in the UK, you want to go to Germany, Belgium. Well, your airline that you use may very well require you to be vaccinated. They're going to need a max stamp alongside on your passport to say, hey, I've been maxed against the corona thingy, or for it, however you say it. According to reports, freedom passes will be given to people who test negative for the thingy twice a week, allowing them to see family and travel throughout the country without a mask, just as long as they can show the appropriate certificate on their phones. News about MaxiN stamps and freedom passes riled up massive protests in London, where London is. There was like 150, 160 people or more who got arrested, and those who travelled there from other areas to participate were heard and seen chanting things like, you can shove your new world NWO up your ass. Hey, the UK is developing into a tyrannical control state. It already is. Have you seen the police respond to these protests? You find all the police, but you report theft to them. Someone, stole stuff, burglary. So if a thief came into your house and robbed you of stuff, the police take forever to respond. Right, one Breitbart News commenter, apparently late to the party, as the UK has long been one of the most tyrannical countries on the planet. The commies would be proud of it. Every Western nation is going to suffer this fate unless the people resist. Okay, people who are dissenters are like people who had a different opinion to what the so-called experts, really the experts, shills, say. And I'll get the definition for you. Define dissenters. A person who dissents, not good enough. Just get the word itself. Dissent. Oh, come on. Dissent. The holding or expression of opinions at variance and difference with those commonly officially held. Basically, the ones the mainstream media holds, and the ones that shills, the doctors and the other so-called experts get up and say. I'm gonna leave it there, and yeah, family is going to turn on you. You know, it's written in the Bible. Your parents. I'll just get what the parents are going to be like. You know, you may have your parents wearing the truth, and they'll be like, oh, you still believe in that? Oh, you don't believe in taking the max? Well, yeah, it got abominable ingredient. Well, I don't want to say much, because YouTube may take my video down. Matthew 10, 36 through 37. And a man's foes shall be they of his own household. He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me, and he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. So if you love any of your immediate family before the Lord, then you're not worthy of me. And what is loving the Lord? Keeping his commandments. Yahushua said, if you love me, keep my commandments. John 14:50. If you love me, keep my commandments. Okay? And one of his commandments is not to get caught in the flesh. The Lord said he comes in the volume of book, it is written of him. Salakia, 40. Psalms 47, then said I, lo, I come in the volume of book, it is written of me. The Lord, the Bible speaks on the Lord, from Old Testament, Apocrypha, to New Testament. He's written throughout the Bible. And the Lord told us we ought to obey him, we ought to obey God, the men. At the end of the day, we ought to obey Yahweh Shai, the man. Man's going to tell you to take the max. The Lord said not to get caught in flesh, not to defile your temple, and that's exactly what it's going to do. The prophets of Yahweh Shai have speculated that this can cut off your God, you can inhibit it. Because Esau is artificially, at the end of the day, he artificially wants to get the blessing by cutting off as many Israelites as possible. And all the Israelites that are still alive would have taken the mark of the beast and the max, making them not able to be saved, because the Lord is not going to save Israelites who take the mark of the beast. Hopefully this video was edifying.